My first cut ever was Rihanna SOS.
Which is insane, by the way. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite songs.
Oh, thanks.
Like, what's crazy to me is like all these people I talk to as a creator, as someone who like makes content. I think a lot of people have this like thought that like you post a video, goes super viral. It took me like 150 videos to have any type of success posting.
And then I just like had my first cut and it went #1 in 20 countries.
But even like, how many songs did you write before
Not that many.
SOS?
Not that many.
Was that one of like the first songs you kind of wrote?
Yeah. One of my first pop songs I ever wrote. I say pop because I wrote a lot of rap songs before that.
Oh, well, that would actually that works really well.
Yeah. I mean, that song's actually written. If you really look at how that song was written, it's not written by someone who knows anything about writing pop music. Because I literally had no idea what I was doing, and I was just going off instinct. And if you look at the verses, they're crafted with a lot of like clever wordplay and internal rhyme schemes, like a rapper would, right?
Yeah.
I'm obsessive when just the thought of you comes up, and I'm aggressive when just the thought ain't close enough. You got me stressing, incessantly pressing the issue, because every moment gone, you know I miss you. It's like written like a rapper.
Even the chorus has.
Well, the crazy thing about that is, like, SOS is the pre-chorus.
Wait, really?
Yeah. SOS is the pre-chorus. And the chorus is, this time, please, someone come and rescue me.
Yeah.
Right. So when I wrote the song, originally it was called Rescue Me. And the A&R guy who bought it said, no, the song's called SOS. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I don't know. SOS is the hookiest part of the song, but it's the pre-chorus. Like, if you actually, like, years later when I kind of learned how to write songs.
Yeah.
I don't think, had I known the rules of writing, I would have written it that way. But that's what's kind of awesome and special about SOS is it wasn't written with any rules. And yet it was still catchy and still hooky. And obviously, you know, playing off of Tainted Love is a huge part of that. And leaning into that, you know, Rihanna's, the way Rihanna approached the song and performed it. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why that song's successful. But it's not written by any sort of, you know, traditional songwriting rules, pop songwriting rules.
Which probably is why people even connected with it more.
Sure. It's different. It was totally different. So they ended up selling the song to Jay Brown when he was running Island Def Jam for Jay-Z. And they bought it for Christina Milian.
Oh, wow.
She was going to cut it. And I was like, dope. Christina Milian's going to cut my song?
That's huge.
And then a month later, they were like, Christina Milian decided to make an R&B album. She's not going to use the song anymore after we already sold them the song. So I was like, well, that was the end of that. I guess I'll just go back and be an agent. And then they're like, actually, we have this other girl that we want to try the song on. And they cut it on this virtually unknown artist. I'd never heard of her at the time, Rihanna. And I remember listening to the demo. Me and JR drove around listening to the version with Rihanna, and we were like, what's wrong with her voice?
Really?
Why does she have such a weird accent? You have to think, though, like, at the time, there wasn't any English speaking people with island accents on the radio.
That's true.
There was like Pussycat Dolls or like Sean Paul. There wasn't Pussycat Dolls that sounded like Sean Paul.
True.
And that's what Rihanna was, right? She was like a pop artist with like an island slant on some of her words. And so it was weird. We thought it was weird. But years later, after the song came out, I went back and listened to the original demo from the girls, and that was vanilla.
Do you have a demo of you singing it?
I do, but it's like on this recorder, and I've literally sent it away to try to extract it from this recorder. If I get it, I'll play it for you.
Amazing.
I've literally like spending like hundreds of dollars trying to save this recording.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Just to like have it for you, like not even.
I know, but I used to use this digital recorder, and it's hard to get stuff off of it. You can't even like play it now.
Were you like playing the songs out of like a speaker and then recording? That's smart. Is that how you wrote the song?
I wrote the song in my parents' guest room, which was like the size of like a shoebox, sitting on like a twin bed with like a giant PC computer and the beat playing out of it, and then me
Just out of the PC?
me recording in the little yeah. just by myself.
Did you ever like write down lyrics, or is that pretty much just
Yeah, I wrote
something
down
from the
lyrics.
recorder?
I wrote down the lyrics. But the song was written about my first wife, actually, when we were dating.
Wow.
And it was actually, if you think about the lyrics, it's really unhealthy.
SOS
When it's
things.
sung by Rihanna, it just sounds like this like very like helpless girl, like helplessly in love. And like, but like if you think about the guy who wrote it and what I was going through at the time, it sounds like dude, you should not be dating. Like I'm obsessive and I'm aggressive and like, you know, I can't stop thinking about you. It's like, dude, chill out. Like you're like newly sober. This is why they say they don't date in the first year. This song is literally an advertisement for that. But you know, going back to the original, when I wrote it, I had no idea what I was doing. Like the whole second verse of that song is 80 song titles strung together as sentences because I thought it would be super clever. No one ever knows that though. No one thinks about that. It's like, take on me, aha, you know inside you feel it right. Take me on, I could just die up in your arms tonight. I melt with you, you got me head over heels. Oh boy, you keep me hanging on the way you make me feel. They're all #1 songs from the 80s.
That's incredible. I had no idea about
No one
that.
does. No one does. Also, something fun in that song is I spelled your wrong in the pre-chorus. No one cares.
All that matters is
Y-O-U-R making this hard. It would be Y-O-U-R-E making this hard.
true.
Just to be, hey, you know what? Whatever.
Was that song a hit like right away?
That song was a hit really quickly. You know, it's actually really interesting. They held it back from release on iTunes. It was only out on the radio and it was like hit number 32 or something on the Billboard Hot 100 for like 3 weeks in a row. It was 32, 32, 32. They dropped it on iTunes. It jumped to 1. It was kind of the first time I'd ever seen that happen. And then like over the next couple of years, people like made it a habit of that. Like I remember when Britney Womanizer came out, it came out at like, it was like number 98 week 1, #1 week 2. Like they went to radio and then they released the iTunes.
So you're basically like your second song you ever wrote goes #1.
Yeah.
That's
like 20 countries.
that's insane.
Yeah. It was crazy. And I liken it to like walking on a golf course and being like, I think I'm going to play golf today and hitting a hole in one. And then the fear rolls in. Like the imposter syndrome sets in like a motherfucker. Like you're like, oh shit, how did I do that? Will I ever do it again? How the fuck am I going to do it again? And now everyone's looking at you like, do it again. And you're like, I don't know how I did it in the first place. Like I was just
Here you
fucking
are
doing it.
on a twin bed with a recorder playing it through a PC.
I don't know.
You're like, should I do that again?
I
Should I
do
go
it?
back to the same bed?
Can I do it? I don't know. Can I do it again? I wrote a ton of terrible songs after that, trying to figure out how to do it again. And then JR started Beluga Heights with Zach Katz and signed me as the first client.
Oh, you're the first client on Beluga Heights.
I was actually signed to Beluga Heights when it was called Net Worth Entertainment. It wasn't even called Beluga Heights yet.